What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Reality Roundtable. I'm your host, Jonathan Brown. And can you believe it? This is actually episode 50. Who would have thought I actually would make this many episodes? Well, honestly, this is something I'm actually very proud of myself for. And to celebrate this episode, the theme of this episode is going to be to actually enjoy your life. And in today's episode, it's one that I think everyone might need to hear from time to time because life does get hard on people. And a lot of things go on in a lot of people's life. But we actually do got to take time to actually sit back and try to enjoy our life for a change. Instead of worrying about what's always going to go wrong or what may be coming up. Because let's just be honest. We've become experts in not living life, but just surviving life. Same old routine. Wake up, go to work, run errands, pay bills. And at the end of all that, we come home exhausted. We get ready for the next day, and then we go to bed and wake up and do it all over again. And then one day, we look up and we realize that a lot of time has passed us by. And today isn't about productivity, and it isn't about making more money, even though we all would love to make more money. But it's about learning how to appreciate the life that we have right now, and not someday in the future. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the episode. Something that's always promoted is I'll enjoy life later, but I'll work now. I'll enjoy life whenever I get promoted, buy a house, maybe when the kids get older, maybe when I lose some weight, maybe when I make more money, or when life calms down. But honestly, life really never does calm down because another responsibility is going to always come behind it. Whether that be another bill, deadline, or an emergency that you can try your best to plan for. And if you're waiting for life to become perfect before you enjoy it, you might be waiting forever. Sometimes life isn't about taking a luxury vacation, even though I know we would all like to do that. Sometimes it's about sitting outside with your favorite drink after work, or laughing with the people that you love. Maybe calling your parents, watching a sunset, or cooking dinner with the people that you live with. And those moments don't cost a lot. But years later, those are the memories you're going to miss the most. One thing I think we underestimate is how valuable ordinary moments become. Let's go back to your childhood. We don't remember every birthday present. And we don't remember every expensive thing we've ever gotten. But we do remember certain conversations, certain family dinners, those road trips, game nights, holiday traditions, the little things. But as we become adults, we become busy. And we assume that people will always be there until one day they're not. That's why I encourage people to always check up on the people who you love. Stated in my last episode. Not because you have to, but because one day you're going to wish you had one more conversation, one more laugh, and hug. Because time is precious, and we should treat it as such. Now let's talk about something that I know a lot of adults with jobs go through. Some people have weeks of paid vacation just sitting there, but for some odd reason they never use it. Why is that? Is it because they're gonna feel guilty? But let me tell you something. Your job's gonna replace your position faster than your family can replace you. Because to your family, you're irreplaceable. And that's not being negative, but that's reality. The PTO that you have at your job, you've earned that. So you might as well use it. And while using that PTO, you might go somewhere, or you might just stay at home and rest, recharge, sleep in, and just disconnect from your job. Because your mental health matters. Burnout doesn't make you stronger. And rest isn't being lazy. Honestly, it's maintenance. Think about the cell phone that you have, which I know a lot of people tend to have in their hands a lot, including myself. When the battery gets low, you charge it. So why as humans are we different? And here's something I've been thinking about. Most of us remember experiences longer than we remember purchases. Think about it. You remember that vacation, that concert, the random road trip, the cookout with friends. Memories like that tend to stay with us. Meanwhile, that expensive thing that you bought, it becomes normal to you after a few weeks. That's why when it comes to me, I'll speak personally, I'd rather spend money on experiences than spend money on things. So take that trip, go hiking, visit another city, get out and explore something beyond your surroundings. There's a big world out there, and you should go explore it if you're able to. Because life isn't just about collecting things. It's about collecting stories and memories. Now this one could rub people the wrong way a little bit. We've become really good at recording life, but not actually living it. We're filming the concert instead of listening to the music and actually enjoying the experience. We're recording fireworks instead of watching them. We're taking pictures of our food before we even taste it. Now, don't get me wrong. Take those pictures and capture those memories. Those photos become priceless years later. But don't spend the entire experience looking through a screen. Actually be present during the experience. Look people in the eye. Laugh, listen, and feel the moment. Some memories don't need to be posted because some moments are meant just for you. I think gratitude gets talked about so much that it almost becomes background noise. People hear be grateful and immediately tune it out. But gratitude isn't pretending that life is perfect. It's recognizing that even imperfect days contain blessings. Somebody listening to this episode today woke up healthy. Somebody woke up in a hospital. Somebody woke up with family around the breakfast table. And some people woke up alone. Perspective changes everything. So try this. Instead of starting your morning checking social media, start by naming 3 things that you're thankful for. And not the big things, but the small things that we tend to overlook. Whether that be clean water, a roof over your head, the family that you still have around, the friends that you can actually call on that check on you, the ability to actually see out of your eyes, or your ability to walk. And last but not least, your ability to breathe. Because those things become extraordinary when they're gone. So let me ask you another question. When was the last time you did something spontaneous? Like for real. When was the last time you just took a random road trip? Accepted an invitation? Went somewhere new? Tried a different restaurant? Life becomes predictable because we tend to make it predictable. Sometimes the best memories begin with us saying, sure, why not? You don't need every moment planned in your life, because some of life's great adventures happen by accident. Now let's talk about burnout. Being tired isn't a personality trait, and being constantly stressed isn't a badge of honor. It's okay to admit when you're overwhelmed, and it's okay to ask for help. It's also okay to actually take a break, because at the end of the day, we're humans. We're not machines. You don't have to earn rest. Rest is a part of being healthy. Because the strongest people in the world aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who recognize when they need help. So, here's another question. When people talk about you 20 years from now, what do you want them to say? Do you want them to remember your bank account? Or do you want them to remember how kind you treated them? Do you want them to remember the car you drove? Or the conversations you had? What about the title? Or do you want people to remember how you made them feel? Nobody says he had a really nice television, but they do remember that he always showed up, or that somebody made everyone laugh, or that he loved his family, or that that person never judged them. That right there is leaving a legacy. Most people tend to have a bucket list. Whether that be visiting somewhere, going to see a monument, doing something that they never done before, maybe starting a business. But here's the problem with all that. A lot of people tend to wait until the perfect moment. And I know I've said this in the past episodes, but tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Now, I'm not saying this to be irresponsible. I'm just saying don't postpone every dream that you have. Start planning for it. Start saving. Start moving. Dreams don't happen because we wish for them to happen. They happen because we begin to take steps to make them happen. If you stayed with me throughout the whole episode, I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. That means a lot more than you ever will know. And I hope this conversation reminded you that life isn't just about making a living, but it's also about making memories. It's also about laughing at the funny moments in your life. It's also about checking on those who are closest to you. And it's also a reminder that to not work yourself to death and to actually take the vacation that you earn and the rest that you deserve, as well as being fully present in those moments. I'm your host, Jonathan Brown, and thank you for listening to another episode of the Reality Roundtable. And I'll be back next week, Wednesday, for another episode at 7 p.m. Once again, sorry for being late with this episode, but I made sure I didn't skip a week. I can't believe I got the 50 episodes. It's honestly a great accomplishment. Thank you, and have a great day.